everybody. This is morning coffee.
It's time to pour it, stir it up, and serve it up. This is the Morning Coffee Podcast Show, your unofficial wake-up call. Here to help you live your best life and revolutionize your relationships, faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day the right way with Morning Coffee. Here's your host, Tanisha R. Atkins.
Good morning, everybody. You are tuned in to the Morning Coffee Live Show. I am the host, Tanisha R. Atkins, back with another great episode for you this morning. Well, as you know, we're coming to the end of season 3, where we have been talking all season long about how to take your life off of the repeat cycle. Now, for those of you, this may be your first time tuning in, let me introduce you to Morning Coffee. We are your unofficial wake-up call on a mission to provoke you to change and spiritual growth so that you can live your best life and revolutionize your relationships. So that's what we're all about here at Morning Coffee. Like I said, we're coming to the end of season 3, and we've been having a pretty great season, if I have to say so myself. I've thoroughly enjoyed the sessions, and we're going to keep right on rolling as we continue to wrap it up. We're just talking about how do you go about taking your life off of the repeat cycle. So yesterday we talked about change and how, change is necessary. We talked about making adjustments and, doing your part, taking the first step, having a vision, having a clear vision of where you want to go. And then, like the Bible tells us to do, to map out your steps. So I want to say this in today's episode. Now, today we're going to talk about your morning routine. Your morning routine is very important because the thing is, like I told you on yesterday, a lot of times we're repeating the same lifestyle, the same habits and choices just because we don't have a vision for where we want to go. And the Bible tells us that where there is no vision, the people perish. That's in Proverbs, okay? So what that says is when you don't have a visual, when you don't have think about, let's talk about like this. Back when God made the world, it says how God looked out and he saw what the world needed. And then he went to create that thing and he called it to be so. Well, it's the same with us. You have to have a vision for your life. I believe that when God looked out, that he saw vision and then he called it to be so. So we have to have a vision too. Because again, the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish, and that means to waste away. And that's what's happening with a lot of our lives. We're just wasting away because you have to get that vision. Like, if you don't take anything else away from this series, I want you to get that. Like, you have to have the vision comes from God. There's something that in your heart that you should do. God has given you signs. He's, dropped you clues. So most of us know what we should be doing. But the problem is we don't think we can do it, or we have let life circumstances speak so loud that we've either talked ourselves out of it, or we have not just fully positioned ourselves to get those things. So that's why vision is so important. So I want to talk to you about your morning routine. I read a book that talked about successful people. And one of the ways that successful people or stay successful or got to be successful is by changing up their morning routine. So we're going to say change up your routine, period. We're not going to say the morning. We're going to call this changing your routine. Now, if you get up every day and maybe you just get up and you go to work, and you go to work and you work your job and you come home and, maybe you have a routine, you taking care of your kids, or you come home, maybe you watch TV, maybe you eat dinner, maybe you take a bath, maybe you get straight into bed. So if you've been doing that routine, whatever your routine is, for the last 3 years, a lot of us are really on autopilot. And over the course of those 3 years, you have not experienced growth, you're unfulfilled, you're not happy, you feel stuck, you feel overwhelmed, then the problem is that your routine needs to change. And a lot of us use the excuse that we don't have time for stuff. You have to make time, because that's how bad you have to want to move forward. You have to make time. And maybe that means you need to read a book, self-help book, take a class, whatever it is you need to do to move forward to get where you're supposed to be. It's all about having that vision, like we talked about. But I'm saying to you is, maybe you go to work and God calls you to be an entrepreneur. Well, if you never step out and change your routine, take any entrepreneur classes or seek what type of business that you can start, then you're going to stay stuck in the routine of getting up, going to a job that you don't like probably, or that you're not supposed to be there anymore, and you're going to be unhappy. And that's for you. This has become your routine. You go to work, you come home, same thing. So if you don't like that, and this is not the kind of life I want to live, I really want to be an entrepreneur, then you have to change it up. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, many of us want to live this life. We see people on TV. We see our friends living this life. Well, those people got those things because they changed something. They made adjustments. If you think you're going to get anything in life without adjusting, then you're only kidding yourself, because you have to let the new you emerge so that you can handle those things. You just don't wake up overnight and say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. There are things you have to do. There's research you have to do. How do you start a business? How do you set the business up? But if you never take time to open a book or look on the internet for that, and your routine has been, when I get off work, I'm just going to watch TV, then that's the cycle that you're going to stay stuck in. Or you can say, today I'm not going to watch TV. Today I'm going to actually just take the first step and look it up. It doesn't, you don't have to take big giant steps when you start, but you do have to take steps. And maybe step one will be, let me look it up and just find out what it takes. Chances are it may not be as hard as you think it is to, and I'm just using start your business as an example, because, I just feel like, again, the business represents whatever it is you want to do. Whatever it is, whatever events you want to do, whatever you're aspiring to do or be. So you have to change your routine, or you're going to stay stuck the same. It's just that simple. It's not really hard to understand. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. Just keep going around and saying the same things, because that's just it right there. We're talking about having a strategy. Your strategy has to be, you have to change your routine. You have to change what you're doing. If you maybe you smoke and you really want to stop smoking, but every day on your lunch break, you hang out with people that smoke, okay? But you say you want to stop smoking, right? Well, you need to change your routine. For lunch, you don't need to go out there where they smoke. You need to find something else to do during that time. Take a walk, hang out with somebody else, exercise, do something different. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. You can't just say, I'm going to hang out here with these smokers and I'm going to be strong enough not to smoke. Maybe one day you can get back there, but I think you're really kidding yourself to think that you're going to stay in that routine of going to lunch, hanging out there with them, and you're going to magically not want to smoke anymore. Like, it just doesn't work like that. So change has to start with you making a decision that the routine that you're in is no longer working, and you have to seek a different route. So your vision may be, I don't want to smoke anymore. I want to make these changes. I'm going to go to the doctor, maybe find a patch or get some type of therapy, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't smoke, and I'm not judging anybody that does. I'm just using it for an example. So get you a winning strategy. You have to take responsibility for your life. Stop blaming people for where you are. Stop blaming people for where you're not, because we hold the key to our own happiness. And if you don't believe that, then you need to definitely get you some self-help books and read that, because we hold the key to our happiness. But a lot of times we're unhappy because we're trying to make other people happy. And we're not even going to start talking about that, because then this show will run on and on and on. But I will talk about that some next week for our closing week. Well, I just wanted to keep it short and sweet for you today. Just examine your life. Ask yourself where you want to be and do what the word says and mark out a path for your feet. If you don't know all the paths yet, at least ask yourself, what is one simple thing that I can do to move towards the direction of my goals and my dreams so that I won't stay stuck. You have to be an active participant in your change and in your growth in order for you to be successful and take your life off the repeat cycle. Well, that's it. Short and sweet today. I want you to connect with me. I think that so many of you are listening and downloading the episodes, and I definitely appreciate that, especially on iHeartRadio. Thank you so much. I want you to share the broadcast. I want you to share with people so that we can get this wonderful message out. Have you guys been enjoying season 3? And I want to encourage you to go back all the way to season 1. Every season just gets better and better. I'm already preparing for season 4, even though our season is coming to an end. Season 4 is going to be amazing. So stay connected with me. Find me on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube at Morning Coffee Live Show and connect with me. I would love to hear from you. Drop me an email. Let me know what you thought about the show. We're at Morning Coffee Live and then the number 1 at gmail.com. And again, that's Morning Coffee Live, Live, the number 1 at gmail.com. And as always, I like to say good morning to my grandfather that's listening. So good morning, good morning. Thank you as always for supporting Morning Coffee. Well, you all have a great, amazing day, and we'll be back tomorrow.